So basically, I am on my way. I'm on my way to a village that I don't know. I'm trying to go back to our roots, go back to our villages, have a conversation with our elders and anybody that I get to meet. Sadly, I didn't start my day early, so I'm losing the sun. I'm really losing the sun. But regardless of the time, sorry if the camera is shaking a bit, but regardless of the time, I'm just trying to find one or two people that I can start a conversation with about our spirituality and the ways of our fathers. But I'm going to try a lot to have a lot of these conversations coming up. I just pray that I can make it on time so that I can at least have some sun to have some conversation with some of the elders. So just stay tuned. Let's see what the day brings. But I promise you, we're going to do this from time to time just to catch on to our elders and have conversations with them before it's too late. So I'll see you soon. Our
enemies are many, and they stand ready to pounce upon and exploit our every weakness. They play upon our vanities and flatter us in every kind of way. They tell us that this particular person or that particular country has greater or more favorable potentialities than the other. They do not tell us that we should unite, that we are all as good as we are able to make ourselves once we are free.
Don't fucking move on. Shoot your fucking ass, bitch. Tase his ass.
Why are you so angry? I'm angry because it's been going on forever. Enough is enough. We're waiting for a back. I will, sir. No worries. I will. Fuck. He just shot his arm off. We got pulled over on Larpener.
I told him not to reach for it. I told him to get his hand out.
You told him to get his ID, sir, and his driver's license. Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead. Please don't tell me my boyfriend just went like that.
Keep your hands where they are, please.
Yes, I will, sir. I'll keep my hands where they are. Please don't tell me this, Lord. Please, Jesus, don't tell me that he's gone. Please don't tell me that he's gone. Please, officer, don't tell me that you just did this to him. You shot 4 bullets into him, sir. He was just getting his license and registration, sir.
Mid-20th century is Africa's. This decade is the decade of African independence. Forward then to independence. To independence now. Tomorrow, the United States of Africa.
So yes, I'm still on the way. I think I've come close to a village. Still on the way, trying to get to somewhere that we can have somebody to have conversations with. But like I said, I didn't make it on time today. I didn't come early today, so I'm hoping that the next time I'll actually make it early, and so that we can have a conversation. Trying to, I've seen 2 ladies that I don't know, but I'm just trying to, let me go a bit further and see. I think I see 2 let this outside. But let me go a bit further and see if we will find anybody else, okay? That.
Yeah.
More, I agree. Yeah. What you for, man?
Yeah, me agree more.
Oh, that's it. I'm kind of here, but I'm the addition. I'm there. You see, they be me and person, pedemo, Morocco, do a boom. Ma yen na modi esi ma na yen na nam wonyim na ma ya to watching nti na mesino ma fa to mo hondo mo eku kakra bi a yesuaze na eku no ya ba apete kakra nti na mesino ma start me first one me sha se de Morocco in crossing na me yen papa no mezu komo me me bisa kona ayen afom do na yesua baby on intina my baby on yano
that was CP on the no na come and sitophono payphone now I'm a mepio ha say near you for no ya bay say share kabade sam abon ya kwampi do e be na bit today
about your mobile or from Kojo?
Somebody Mike, brother Mike.
Okay.
Yao
Bedu. Me pay Yao Bedu. Museum Kojo Mason. Okay. So I do Edu Anenu. Bedu.
Menanedi.
Oh, okay.
Menana Papa na Odemetu.
Okay. Now, but I hire Abuko.
I hire for her Gumwa Adente.
Gomo Adente.
Gomo East.
Oh, okay.
I Gomo East. You could him Kaka Central War.
Okay. It's a Gomo Adente. I
Gomo Adente.
Okay.
The Hana Omo, Hana Mammy Film Papa. Okay. And Papa, no, as chief, or Hina, when the baby no chief.
Oh, okay.
We were about 18 years.
Oh, not my auntie, because maybe she will be other means of
18 years. So 18 years.
Oh, okay.
10 minutes in the first one.
Oh, okay. Aquaba. It says I can't scream right now because I'm really not in the house and I'm not in the office, but I came all the way to Gomoa Adente, and that's Gomoa East. Gomoa East, yes. I came and I met my elder, father. His name is Yao Bedu. Yao Bedu. I like the local name. They call popularly known as Brother Mike, but I like the Yao Bedu. And what we're going to do, I'm going to speak a lot of local dialects. So what I'm going to do is that whenever we have any sort of conversation, I will make sure I translate or I explain what he just said or what I just asked him, so that you all can get into what we are trying to talk about or the conversation we're having right now. But I'm basically here and I'm asking questions about our traditions and our ancestries and what our fathers did and what our fathers knew and what we don't know and what we're trying to know. So basically this is why I'm here. So I'm not going to talk much. I'm just going to hand over to our elder for him to give us background of what we're about to hear today.
I have no medical account. Now, I didn't take. But now, first, no, your forest viewer. Why, quite, I said forest, Caspar. I want to knock imping from Honor.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Honor, I didn't tell more. But I honor now, Obucho Road, no. Na aisu river edo ntina wo hwe oye so chese say peyufu no etufi ahono na omo be settle aha nti ahono ye today for Namfo, that's a former town of Adente.
Oh, okay. Namfo, your former.
Yeah, former town place where Adente people settled.
Oh, okay. Okay, in the couple of now comparing the pan.
Okay, yeah, the buffer. Yeah, the buffer. Okay. Omo by no, but no, the land is very fertile for them to settle here. normally they are farmers. They are all farmers. They are farmers. So I'm setting hand. Normally, you may be tradition. You may be share. In Anumna, Omo buy. It say, Omo buy no na high forest. And to know, it say pounding of fufu. Yeah, almost fufu na is so. Omo boss suspect in see fufu. Wow. Yes, because it's fufu. Now more ideas be there. The more insects, more can get to be another fan. More no but to talk. It's the banum.
Oh, okay.
And to would the obey. And to say anybody that say a boss suspect. I didn't take my in seafood.
Wow.
Yes, in seafood. Nobody has to pay your phone. I just say, almost did die forest. And he said, "What's around that? Who said, your forest, it play young in Asia. Almost I dream says, South forest is almost there in Suboto. The reinforcement, yeah. In Subotopa.
Okay, let me take a point. So this is very interesting. So basically, what our elder Yao is saying is that so when our elders of this town, when it came down to settle here, they were actually on the other side. So there's a forest on this side, and that's where they settled. But what happened is that there was a river, Ayensu. There was a river called Ayensu that was separating them from this land. So every time they had to cross the river to come to this side. So what they did was that they made sure that instead of them crossing the river every other day, they relocated and settled here. And when they settled here, this became Gomwa Adentem. And that other place was called Anyanfo. Ananfo. That place became Ananfo because that was the former settlement and this is the new settlement. But when they settled here, what happened was that it was this is back in so many years ago. And they didn't have electricity and all of that. So our elders devised a strategy that when it's 6, nobody cooks after 6. Nobody pound fufu after 6. The reason being that this is not spiritual. This has nothing to do with spirituality. This is just intelligence of our fathers, knowing that if you pound fufu after 6 or cook after 6, what happens is that the insects that flies in the air possibly might fall into your food, and because there's no electricity, you'll not see what is falling into your food, and if you eat it, then you're going to get sick. So in order for us not to get sick, nobody was basically pounding fufu after 6. So making the eating habit earlier before 6. So our fathers were eating way before 6. Make sure everything is done. So by 6, everything is done. Now, science is telling us that for food to properly digest in us, we shouldn't eat after 6. So that your digestive system would have enough room to break down food and also help you have a healthy body, which we've spoken about in several classes. But this is an intelligence that our fathers knew. You understand? And our fathers were operating in, and this is just blowing my mind already. And we are just starting, we are just beginning to wow. Wow.
You know, I don't know, on my man. But yeah, a member our tradition. Say after 6 and what pound for now, Nananum ombutu ubino macho. They are charming for the elders here. Omo babefi. So Obana own Adriana of the farm, no macho, no more Oma fan, some token fee. Oh, yeah, some token fee. Mama, no, up to date. Sir, we know
up to date.
Up to date.
Interpreted on Wolf for after 6.
Up to date.
So, Elder is saying this tradition literally is still being invoked, even though there's electricity. Everybody in this town don't pound fufu or basically cook after 6 because back in the days when you did that, what they did was that they were going to find you a little token to help you stay healthy so that you don't contract any sort of unknown diseases amongst ourselves. So it's still practiced today. Now, mind you, this is not spirituality, this is tradition. But the reason why it became a tradition is because of the intelligence that our fathers were operating on. They were smarter. So they were helping every single person make sure you maintain your health. And
no, and I almost say, Nsu Ebota, or say, some forest. Na Nsu Mama, forest in Mama, Nsunu Eto. Into almost you say, almost be jai forest, almost your farmers. Into what do I say with jai? If you are, into no mama, town, forest, if you are, into all my reinforcement, I say, eba.
Oh,
yeah, no, it's soon by.
Oh, so that any second point.
Second point.
So I don't much but that will be hard because I am in Egypt. So this is the second intelligence that the fathers, the ancestors of this land were operating with. So when they moved here, they realized that this is a very fertile ground. So what their understanding was that the forest attracts rain. This is not more than that. You can say that, okay, they've read it somewhere. They knew that whenever you leave forest around, it will attract rain. So in order to attract the rain into this village, what they did was that they left forest all around the village. So the forest became like a hedge, a heap of forest all around the village. And their intelligence was that so that the rain would keep falling into the ground. So no matter what size you are farming on, you always have to make sure you leave a space for it to grow on its own so that it can always attract rain. So we can always have rain in the ground and get the soil fertile. I'm just translating a little bit, don't mind me.
Okay. And see, Ebesano, forest need do so. Painful. Now, there was no church over here. No church. They just worship the idols. They slaughter sheep in the forest. And so a certain man sat down and said, no, this is not fine. We have God. So God can save us. It's a moment and said, also almost pay a sorry kuma. The first church building here was a Methodist church.
Oh, wow.
Methodist church. No more fiber. Simply from who said, it's almost soon, Abosum, and yet it's almost soon. The Methodist church needed come back town. So, Mama, come on, be now, Methodist. A tree answer. Churches be a buyer, almost so a best our.
Me pay them points in point. So what Elder is saying, I mean, he started it, and basically what he said was that our ancestors were practicing spirituality, but one man, any papa is in
often Kojo
Intie, Kojo Fuya.
Kojo Intie.
So one man called Kojo Intie, what he did was that he came to a conclusion that the church is not the spiritual ways of our fathers was not a good thing for them, and so they felt that it was necessary that they have a church in this community. So what he did is that he went out to solicit the Methodist church, and the Methodist church came into the village. The Methodist church became the first church in the village, which basically automatically made every single person here a Methodist congregant. We will come back to the spirituality, but we want to just get the background information.
And the Papa all day as son about one chena, no, the jay, Papa no friend, Nana Kwame Kuma. We show you Madame Yellow DC.
Okay,
the any sin. Okay, no, the jay side Papa. So, Omona, Omoya, my fee, and I buy incense. Oh, the town had you know, be any one pastor. Okay, be a Christian. Now, afi onu ne chiru no say mo fa na omo de ofi other side back na person na say omo tisi omo say ni omo hu kun na omo gogo mo man respect nti omo ye bibi say say wo say pe bi sunya ma fi efu mu ba o say wo abofra no ye de ukohia no na wo kode yama no na wo de bia no awo sa je no so awo ho abti na wow makana.
So what Elder Yahweh is saying is that it got to a time when the young children started coming into the village from the other side. They had to start teaching them how to live respectfully amongst the elders here. So what they did was that they started instructing and teaching the younger ones that every time you met an elder, what you do was that you immediately approach them, and if they are carrying any load or any salt, you ask them to take their load from them. So what I'm getting is that the younger ones were always going to the elders to ask them if they can offer them any help. So it wasn't basically the elders screaming and shouting and yelling that come and help, but the young ones themselves were educated in the such that the minute they see elders do anything, they immediately run towards them to assist them.
Up to date, so what villages, the villages surrounding us, I think is the peaceful, the most peaceful town in the area.
Oh wow!
How no, you pay the now if you see a pay, our home, you pay our whole as a whole basis here, or say, you know, you're fine. I'm a Sophiana, now or the you know, the cook, or the cook. Some I had it, I had a cool town. How you put down among ye was then also
okay. So another thing Elder is saying is that this town basically became the most peaceful village or town amongst the neighboring villages or towns because of the discipline the elders or the ancestors instilled in the younger ones. So they are very welcoming. And I must be honest, when I got here, I mean, it's not everybody that would just welcome you and ask you to come in, but he's been very welcoming and he just allowed me in and we started having this conversation. So this is a place of peace, and this place is basically, when you come here eventually, listen, you will feel the peace because Elder welcomed me with open arms without him hesitating at all. Maybe say okay. Papa Nikade was my bosom now on Yeno. No, once in na abosom sum na wo ye no na odi nsunsan do be brown na
okay now the nsunsan ohun there na odi nsunsan do be ba e bit there bon say o say konfu bi aba na o say onkotwa aboa onkotwa niti na yare bi ba nti se wotwa etina na wo de boje no kuku forest na no na de na yare no abako nti sa papa no odi an so no sa adide ohun bi da bosum na nkasa wo